In this episode of SCS on the Road, we came all the way to the truck capital of the world, Allentown, Pennsylvania, to visit the Mack Experience Center. We'll take a closer look at their showroom, full of the brand's latest offerings, packed merch store, as well as a guided tour through the museum, showcasing Mack's rich history, not only with trucks, but also buses, fire trucks, and some movie stars as well. But most importantly, we will experience the power of the Bulldog firsthand on the Experience Center test track. Buckle up. This is going to be a good one.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode. And today, as this good boy can hint, we are at a very special place. Mark, where are we?
We're at the Mack Experience Center in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, and what are we going to do today?
We're going to drive some trucks.
Oh, yeah, we've been lucky enough that we've been invited by amazing people from Mack to come to this place. They are going to show us around. I've heard they have amazing Mack Truck Museum. They have amazing showroom, but what's most important, they have their own test track.
And this will be your first time driving an American truck ever.
Yes, sir. And it's gonna be Mack Anthem, I hope. So one of my most favorite trucks as well. So I'm very excited, and let's go.
Yeah.
Good to see you guys. Welcome back. You got your gold, silver, copper. But here is our show. It's the pinnacle. Probably the cleanest truck you'll see underneath.
I wish I would be able to tell what part is what.
What's this?
Brake chamber,
What's this?
air tank,
What's this?
drive shafts,
What's this?
airbag,
Now those two.
airlines. One's going to be the service, one's going to be the supply.
He's good. He knows.
Black on black. Even the pedigree is black.
Oh my god, should I do it?
Do it, do it.
Yeah, he did the horn, and I got scared. Okay. So we have to sign up these rules how to behave, and then they will take us to, drive a few of their amazing vehicles and trucks. It's gonna be my first experience with US trucks, so I'm pretty excited. You have to sign as well, Benny.
All right, there's a couple of rules we have to follow. Top speed is 40 miles an hour. There's 3 stop signs. We'll ask you to stop at all the stop signs unless we tell you to go through and so forth. There are deer out there. I saw about 6 or 7 of them today, and we talked about that before, so just keep your eye out for that. That's about all the rules there are right now. Other than that, we'll go out and have some fun finally.
Now this is what we came for. The Mack Anthem is one of Nemiro's favorite trucks, so it only makes sense that this is the very first American truck he has a chance to drive. And off he goes. Now you'll get a chance to see Mack Truck's Grade Gripper feature in action. It prevents rollback when starting on an incline by holding the truck stationary for up to 3 seconds after the brake pedal is released. Pretty useful in traffic.
What's next?
Oscar and Benny gave it a try too. Geez, Oscar, relax with that air horn already, come on. And now it's time for the real trucker to sit behind the wheel. Now you know I love my long hoods, so I had to give the Mack Pinnacle a shot as well. And last but not least, Mack Granite. This beast just glides through the challenging off-road section of the Mack Experience Center test track. Welcome to the Mack Trucks Historical Museum. Doug Maney, the caretaker of Mack history, gave us an unforgettable tour through the highlights of Mack's product range and their inventions. Curious how the Bulldog mascot came along? Stay tuned.
So the Mack Brothers Motor Car Company was founded by Jack and Gus. Gus was an accountant by trade. He went to school and learned to be a bookkeeper, essentially. He ended up working at a wagon and carriage builder in Brooklyn named Fallison and Barry. John was the inquisitive one. He was the one that really wanted to get out and see how things worked, tear things apart, put them back together, and just learn the world, so to speak, and experience the world. Through the 1890s, they tried different self-propelled vehicles. Jack really was interested in making a self-propelled vehicle. So he tried electric, he tried steam, and ultimately focused on the internal combustion engine. In 1900, they built the first bus. The first Mack was a bus, the first bus was a Mack.
Really?
Yes. In 1903, 1904, they participated in the New York Auto Show. So what that did, showing their buses, they sold out production. They sold production to the point where they didn't have enough factory space to build what they sold. So they reached out to their brother Joe, and in 1905, they relocated from Brooklyn to Allentown. Some of the projects that they had, some of the bus projects, were probably chassis that were running and driving, but didn't necessarily have seats on. So they loaded them up with their cargo, their wood, their tools, and drove them here. They kind of decided that worked pretty well. So in Allentown, they built the first Mack truck. So, of course, the Mack Bulldog. The Bulldog came along on the back of the Mack AC. So the Mack AC was introduced in 1916, just in time for World War I. The English bought, in their initial order, 150 Mack ACs for their war effort. Got them over there, English soldiers started using them, saw how tough they were, how hard they worked, and the look of them with that blunt nose and the headlights kind of positioned the way they are, that front cross member that's rounded kind of like a jowl on their English Bulldogs.
Right.
Okay, so an English Bulldog at that time was a working animal. Here's this little dog doing this mountain of a job. Here's this little truck doing work of, hundreds of men, dozens of horses. So they started calling it the Bulldog Mack. The first use of that Bulldog on a truck was on a side plaque. It's a brass plaque mounted to the side of the cabs. And the Bulldog is chewing up a book, and on that book is written hauling costs. So the chief engineer for Mack was laid up in the hospital in Allentown recovering from surgery. So he was a hands-on guy. So you take a hands-on person and you put him in a bed and tell him to stay there and do nothing. Go a little stir crazy, right? We believe he got a bar of soap and probably his butter knife from dinner and carved a Bulldog. So very similar to a replica that we have on display. When he got out of the hospital, he showed it to management and they liked it well enough that became the design for the patented Bulldog radiator cap ornament as trucks got larger, roadways got better, so diesel power came into play. Mack introduced their own diesel in 1938, but the real kick to that was in 1953 with the B series. So the B model was a truck that was incredible. It revolutionized trucking. I was introduced with the 673 Thermodyne diesel engine, multi-speed transmission, and it sold. And freight companies bought it, independents bought it. It was a phenomenal offering by Mack. But the real kick in the pants to that one was in 1967, they introduced the Maxidyne concept. High torque rise, low RPM engine, 237 horsepower. Doesn't sound like much today, but at that time, that was a lot, but you got your torque. So that had nearly a flat torque curve from 900 RPM to 1700 RPM. So instead of having multi-speed transmissions, 10, 15, 20, it had a 5.
Really?
Yeah, 5-speed. And ultimately, it is the design that most everything uses today.
Right.
They want a lot of torque, low RPM for efficiency.
Right.
One of the other innovations that everybody just knows today, chassis-mounted charge air cooling. Now Subarus have it on. Foreign cars have it on. Where'd that start?
Mack trucks.
Yeah. And we'll head out into the trucks. So this is our 1911 Mack Junior. This is the oldest truck that we have on display in the museum. This truck's been around Mack a long time. We have video of this truck in 1950 at the announcement for the A model.
Really?
On video, yeah. So there were two actors portraying Jack and Gus. So this thing's been around a long time. So we're very happy to have it, very proud of it. This AK, this was donated to us from Republic Services. Beautiful truck. This is 471 cubic inches of crank start.
Really?
Yes.
But that kicks pretty good.
It does. So 4-cylinder, large pistons, and it does a fantastic job. Just a beautiful truck. This is 29, so it does have pneumatic tires on it.
And this is the first one here that we're coming across that has that Bulldog look, I guess, as well, right?
Yes. Yeah. From 1916 all the way up through really into 39, the AC model look was carried through a lot of different models. So fire apparatus, huge following in Mack fire apparatus. If they were building it today, they would still be selling because they were a phenomenal vehicle. At one time, every piece of fire apparatus in New York City was a Mack.
Really?
Yes. So that's a big customer.
Yeah.
So and they made some phenomenal specialty equipment for New York and for other municipalities and cities as well. This is one we're very proud of. This is our 1945 Mack NM. So this truck was rescued from Fort Indian Town Gap. In 2009 or so, we got word that there was a World War II vintage Mack truck that was hauled in, and its ultimate destination was to be pulled out on the firing range. Finally, 3 years later, we were able to get down and see the truck. They didn't take it out. They knew there was something special about that truck, so they didn't destroy it. And ultimately, they gave it to us, and we did a 6-year restoration, getting it into shape and running and driving.
All right, now when I think of a Mack truck, I think this is pretty much what I think of.
The B series.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the truck that revolutionized trucking. It made trucking what it is today. Traveled across when a driver left for the week, he knew he was coming home.
Right.
So the series here, so this is a B60. This is a New England style truck, big rubber, 6-cylinder gas engine, low horsepower, but the gearing's 35 miles an hour. So
right.
The roads, especially up through New England, were windy along the creeks and such. Through the mountains, you didn't need all that power. You had the gearing. The B61, now that's really the truck that was, the freight company truck, the line haul truck, the owner operator truck. That was the one. That's 673 diesel. That's
Okay.
the one that really moved the goods.
Right. So this is the typical highway model for the time.
This is the typical highway model. This is the one that created the history for the Mack B model.
Right.
The B61, variations of that, but this is it. And then we have the B53 here. This was a heavy spec truck. This would have been a tri-drive from new for concrete mixer work. It now has a dumpster lift on it. That was donated to us by Republic. But that's one of those heavy hauls that you could pull a house with. And the DM over here is one of the other trucks that were donated to us by Republic. That's a hard-nosed DM. Of course, the offset cab.
What was the reason for that offset cab? You see that quite a bit with the R models and DMs.
Well, it'd be the U model and the DM. Essentially, it was bumper to back of cab dimension.
Right.
So you were restricted. You had, in early days, it was 45 feet. You could only be 45 feet long from front bumper to the taillights on the trailer.
Right.
As that was extended, the manufacturers decided, let's make a short bumper to back of cab so you can pull a longer trailer.
Right.
So the longer the trailer, the more goods you haul. That's where your pay's at.
Right.
If you were to move that cab forward on the frame on an R model, your foot and your engine would occupy the same space.
Ah.
So if you move the cab to the left, now your foot is free to hang out down there on the throttle, and the engine is now in the dog box back in the cab.
So it's kind of giving you the best of both worlds between a cab over engine and a conventional. You still have, the more comfortable driving experience of a conventional, but you're cutting down on some of that length.
Exactly, and serviceability because you have a hood out front.
Right.
Yep. So this is a Mack cruise liner, WS, powered by a Garrett Air Research turbine engine, essentially out of a helicopter, designed for truck use. So this is our test truck. Has suicide doors on the back, 4-way seating for engineers and such for testing and all.
Okay, so this is very much just a test rig.
This was a test truck.
Test rig. Okay.
So when it runs, it sounds just like a Learjet.
Oh, it all still running and working?
Every vehicle in the museum runs.
Really?
Absolutely. We exercise them as often as we can. So this is essentially the last remaining commercial truck from Bethlehem Steel in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm. And this is a truck that never would have actually hit the road. This is a truck that would have just been moving around the plant, moving pots and ingots and stuff like that.
One spot on the property to another. It was a large property.
Right.
It's a 1984, and there's 30,000 miles on the odometer.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So they used it, but it might have been 2 mile, 2 mile, 2 mile, 2 mile. Mm-hmm. But it was always hooked to a 100-ton lowboy because it didn't need to go fast. It needed to haul the load, and whatever they put on it, it would haul. So, welcome to the Sound Room Gallery. So the Sound Room Gallery is just that, the sound room. In the 70s, the federal government was proposing legislation that all vehicles, all trucks, would have the same interior and drive-by noise levels as passenger cars.
Really?
Yeah, and it helped. It really did. It helped through the years. Engines, transmissions, everything's a lot quieter now than what they were. This room is one of the largest semi-anechoic chambers, little to no echo, that we know of that exists anymore. So most all of them have gone away. When you walk in the door, it like pulls the sound from your ear.
Yeah, it's, I have tinnitus from years of driving trucks, so I walk in here, it's kind of a nightmare. But yeah, you definitely like notice like the kind of the air around you just becomes quieter and like more still in a way, yeah. I noticed something back here.
You mean this back here?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is our movie star. This is Megatron from the movie Transformers: Dark of the Moon. This is the actual screen-used truck character. We're truck people. We think of it as a truck, but no, to these folks, that is a character, and rightly so. It really is. When you come down to it and watch the films, it's an incredible piece. So.
And this is just one of one ever built?
This is one of one.
One of one.
This is it. So it started life as a Mack Defense demonstrator truck.
Okay.
So armored cab.
Right.
Basic line haul tractor, armored. when they were looking for a truck to portray the character, thought they liked the look of it. Came, got the truck, outfitted it with all the adornments, rusted the fiberglass hood, you know, and added all their things to it, and turned it into Megatron. You know, one of the highlights that we have here at the museum is the oldest known operating Mack in existence, and that is our 1909 Mack Brothers bus. Beautiful bus. We just had it freshened last year with some updated lettering and such to kind of bring it back to its original configuration. You know, this is a right-hand drive. As I said, all vehicles in the museum run, and we do a Truck of the Month video, and it shows it running. You can hear it running. It's a thrill for me to be able to operate some of these because I never imagined I would be able to. I recall the days of coming to the Mack Museum and having butterflies. I'm numb to that now because I come here every day, but I understand the meaning behind this place to people. There's special things that happen here, and the archive that we have is incredible. We're a nonprofit organization. We're independent of Mack Trucks. Check out our website, check out our Facebook page, check out our YouTube channel. I know you're gonna see something that you like, and I know you're gonna see something that relates to your life.
Right.
Because Mack Trucks built not only the nation, they've contributed to the history of the world.
Yes.
One way or another.
Well, I think I speak on behalf of our community and truckers everywhere. You know, thank you and the volunteers here for, you know, keeping this history alive and doing what you guys do to, you know, bring it to us and allow us, the public, to be able to come and see it. It's just amazing.
That's what we're here for. We love to share. You know, we love to enlighten, educate, and entertain.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Doug.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you having us.
Anytime.
And that's all for the Mack Trucks Historical Museum. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.